tried to think about a context of where the product would relate to, and that would start to help you to start the design process, thinking about what it could be. Balls, as it were, to say actually what exists is very good, but perhaps it's not quite communicated as well, or it's not refined as well.
Well, I mean, I called it Design is a Good Friend, just primarily because it's I think there's something nice about the idea of a product or things that surround us being friendly, being things that we want to stick around, and to be to not only work in one dimension, in other words functionally, but also to work in terms of its character and its poetics. And so I wanted to look for in the workshop was how the students would be able to comprehend the idea of something that involves those aspects of a product and not just solving problems. Well, I mean, a device that we've used in the past quite often is it's not to belittle the person who you're trying to present the project to, but if you were to treat them as a child, imagine them as a child, and you have to describe the project. And a child knows nothing about it, knows nothing about the situation or the context, and so we would use language which is almost like telling a children's story. It's extremely basic, extremely almost accessible. There's no mystery to it. You're removing the mystery because it's important to to describe to the child the truth, yeah, and not ambiguity. But at the same time, you're allowing yourself to pull them into the direction you want them to go. And so that's a device that we've used many times, is to literally write a book which is like a children's story describing what is sometimes an extremely complicated product, and it can work quite effectively that way.
This is the last exercise. So try to think about a context of
and then another was
certainly
when I was at the Royal College, I was thrown into this state of confusion about what design is, what actually is it, why is it important, where do I fit in, and I think that in hindsight, being in this state of confusion was actually a good thing. It meant that design was actually a much more complicated subject than you can imagine, and so you have to stick with it, and you have to navigate yourself through this confusing melee of ideas and all of what goes with it, rather than being in a state of confidence where you think you know everything and every aspect, and everything is predictable, and there's a method, a process that if you follow it, you'll end up achieving success. So this state of confusion, when you're a young student, it might seem at the time to be very disheartening, but it does actually pay dividends later on in life you start to appreciate the fact that you've had to force yourself to, even afterwards, not afterwards, search for a path.